Hey guys, eBomi here. I wanted to talk about the Ridgeback rack today. I know a lot of you have probably seen other good YouTube channels feature the Ridgeback rack. Just recently Pete did one where he showed how to mount his Mossberg on the wall, and that was an awesome looking rack. But just in case that you haven't seen it, and I wanted to talk about a few points that I've seen in comments that are just flat out moron comments. The Ridgeback rack, it's 1/4 inch cold rolled steel. They put a series of holes in it every 2 inches, and the reason for that is most of your wall construction is 16 inches on center, making it easier to find the stud in the wall. The holes are countersunk so that the screw heads will be nowhere near the firearm so that it can't do any damage to them. A lot of you have seen this one, your typical M16 AR-15 look, and I know I've seen some comments like people think that this is the only thing that Ridgeback makes. Well, that is very far from the truth. Pretty much anything that you have, if it can lay flat anyway, can be made into a custom rack. Like for instance, I have not done a follow-up video on this yet because this is my project AR, and it is not 100% yet. I'm still waiting on a couple of things. But for instance, if you notice the Yankee Hill flash hider, the AFG2 grip, the Magpul MOE, well, this is what Ridgeback made for me. The Yankee Hill flash hider, the AFG2, and Magpul MOE stock set up just for Tadpole 696. It's pinned, it's not adjustable. But this is just an example of what the company is capable of. You know, if you're looking for something to display a family heirloom, or maybe some high-end custom-made rifle that you have, if you can take a picture of it and tell them the measurements from the end of the barrel to the end of the stock, like in this case collapsed, which is what I wanted for it, this is what the company is capable of doing. So if you think that they only make ones for the AR, that's not true. They can custom make you one. And then I also have Ms. Bomi's nighttime defense gun, which sits on her bedside stand at night, is a Smith & Wesson Model 10 revolver, obviously. But during the day, it goes in a lockbox, which if someone were to break into the house, could easily be walked off with. So we wanted something that added a little bit more security to that. So here is the rack that Ridgeback made for me. This is going to go in the closet. And well, it's locked up. It's pretty much the same procedure. You still got to grab a key. You still got to unlock something. But I know that someone isn't going to walk off with the wall. Which would bring us to the next subject. More comments that I've read. All of these whiz-bangs that talk about how they are going to circumvent the rack. We have the genius that was going to cut out the whole wall and then just cut the rack off of the weapon at a later date. The guy that was going to use the Sawzall and get behind and cut the lock pin off. And probably my favorite one was the Dremel or Rotozip guy that was going to grind the head of the screws off and just take the rack and once again remove the rack from the weapon at a later date. Well, let's discuss the screws. The kit comes with a couple of basically case hardened, oversized coarse thread screws with a square drive on it. These do not have the the same tensile strength as a drywall screw. These are much harder. In the event that you have a scenario where you can hit more than 2 of the screws, you could use more of the holes. Like if you're in cement or on a complete wood backing, then you could use even more of these. But typically this is all you're going to need. So what's the story with a smash and grab home robbery? Well, I'd say at best they might have one of these. Typically, not even. Your typical home robbery, the robber is in your house for 6 minutes. And unless they are as completely stupid as some of the comments that I read, 6 minutes. You have 6 minutes to try to get a weapon off of a locked rack. Or you can grab the TV, a laptop, computers, cell phones, jewelry, cash. But let's not kid ourselves. This does not replace a safe. They don't say it does. This is simply a means of being able to display a weapon or maybe have quicker access to it with it being secure. If you have children in the house, they're not going to get this off of the rack. Does it replace the safe? No, it doesn't replace the safe. So I feel the end user of something like this is my scenario, wanting to lock the pistol to the wall in the closet to have easier access to it, but have it be more secure than just being in a briefcase-sized gun case. And I believe the other one would be someone with either a custom rifle that they want to display in a shop, for instance, like a gun shop's, or someone that has a family heirloom that they actually want out. Because once, I'll show you. Once the weapon is locked and hanging on the rack, you no longer see it. All you see is whatever you have hanging there. And also keep in mind that, like for instance, this rack here, their standard one, will probably work with about 99% of, like in this case, all the ARs on the market. For me, I have the bad lever, and the company does accommodate for the bad lever. Here is the lock mechanism off a standard rack, and the one made for the bad lever simply notches out so that it won't make contact with your bad lever. So if you are placing an order for one of those, make sure that you are totally clear with them. Like I said, you're going to lay the weapon on the ground. You're going to take a picture of it. They're going to use that to cut out your rack and the overall dimensions, and include something like you have a bad lever on it, because that will affect the lock setup on it. Other than that, I'm telling you about this because I like to deal with companies that are stand-up companies. Ridgeback Racks is owned by a fantastic guy named Jeremy. Jeremy was a Desert Storm Army veteran, and these racks are made in the USA. So that's all. If you have any questions that I can answer about the ones that I have, I'm probably going to be having some kind of a contest. That's a great idea. Let's have a contest. If you want this standard AR-15 M16 rack, why don't you submit a video response telling me or showing me what you're going to put on this. Today is Today is February 10th. Let's run this for 2 weeks. So I'll put an annotation on screen as to what date that would be that the contest will be over. Make it Friday, 2 weeks from now, at midnight. So if you want this, give me a video telling me what you're going to put on it. Otherwise, thanks guys. Like I said, I'll put some links down in the description to Ridgeback Racks, and they also do have a YouTube channel. So if you want, go over and check it out. He's pretty much running the videos of the rest of us YouTubers that have put up videos about the rack. So go check them out, and go check out Ridgeback on the internet and take a look at what some of the stuff they can do. Like I said, 2 weeks. Give me a video response if you want this. Thanks.